Hi guys, and welcome to another Thoughtscapes. Today I'm going to be talking to you about habits and the formation of good habits. Now you might ask me, what are habits? Well, habits are a human behavior of routine choices or actions that we make on a daily or frequent basis that help reduce the workload of our brain by helping reduce the number of decisions that we make. So what do we need to know about habit formation? Well, firstly, you need to really understand why you want to form a new habit. What are the benefits? So, if you want to form the habit of going to the gym on a weekly basis or even 5 times a week, you really need to understand why you want to form that habit. You want to form that habit because you want to get fit, you want to lose weight, you want to look great for summertime or cut and leaned up, or you want to fit in your wedding dress. That's why it's important to understand why you want to form a habit, because at the end of the day, you're trying to reach your end goal, and the importance of it and why is your end goal. Everyone also knows that to form a habit requires willpower, and a lot of people at the beginning, they have so much willpower, i.e. New Year's resolutions. Everyone says that, yes, this year, 2017 or 2018 or whenever you're watching this video, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And yeah, usually you probably commit to it for, let's say, a couple of weeks, maybe a few months. Ask you again by the end of the year whether you follow through on that. And more often than not, people are like, oh yeah, I forgot I gave up in February. Or oh, I only did that for 2 weeks. Yes, willpower is required, but you have to understand that it is not a sustainable force. What is stronger than willpower is consistency. Now, if you have a bad habit, one good thing is to identify what your triggers are for that bad habit and try and eliminate it. For example, you have finished your evening meal and you sit down on the sofa and you light a cigarette. Because that is what you do every evening after you finish your meal. You sit down on your sofa, you put on the TV, and then you light a cigarette. What is your trigger? There's several triggers right here. It's finishing your food and sitting on the sofa and turning on the TV. Those things combined get you into a zone where your habit kicks in. Now, how can you eliminate that? Let's say you finish your dinner. Instead of sitting down straight after and switching on the TV, why don't you go outside and go for a walk? It kind of disrupts that habit that you formed of smoking right after you've eaten, or just doing something differently after you've eaten each and every day, just so you break that habit. Or another example is you tend to snack because you're bored. Well, why don't you evaluate and look at your schedule and see the times in the day in which you're a bit idle and there's not much excitement or things for you to do, and try and fill those minutes or hours up with activity so that you have no room to become bored and then snack and then eat. The formation of habits take time. Now, academics have debated, and sometimes you hear 21 days, you hear 60 days, but there is no consensus on how long it takes to form a habit. That really depends on what habit you're trying to form, your circumstances, and what you're like as a person. But it can range from anywhere from 3 weeks to 8 months, depending on a lot of factors. But it can be as long as 8 months. So you really have to have a lot of willpower, have a lot of consistency, have a lot of drive, have a lot of understanding into what you're doing, because it could take that long. If you're trying to form a new habit, your body and your mind can get very numb and bored to a routine very, very quickly. So there was one point about 2 years ago where I was really trying to lose weight and had a personal trainer, and I was really, really adamant that I was going to lose a couple of kilos in 2 or 3 months. And I went aggressive on the diet. I literally ate chicken and broccoli with a tiny little smidge of white rice or brown rice in the evening, and that was all I had for that was all I was meant to have for whatever, indefinitely. 3 weeks, right? I can safely say it probably lasted a week and a half before my taste buds were so numb and so bored and so sick of eating chicken breast and broccoli for dinner. And that doesn't help set you up for success. So what you need to do is, when you're trying to form a new habit, add variety. and spice to it, so that you do not become bored and your brain doesn't become accustomed and you don't revert back to not doing your habit or back into a bad habit. Let's say you're going to the gym and you always seem to just do the same 5 or 6 exercises. Well, why don't you vary it up and try something new? Actually, what happens is your body gets very accustomed to exercises if you do it on a continual basis, and their efficiency diminishes. So it's actually beneficial for you to try different things and keep your body guessing, because you will lose weight and build muscle faster by doing that way. When it comes to food, let's say you're on a weight loss plan, don't eat the same food all the time. Yes, make sure that you have the same principles and the macros and the calorie content that you need, but introduce something else. Instead of eating chicken and broccoli, why don't you have salmon and, let's say, asparagus? Or why don't you add different spices to your chicken so that the flavor is different each and every time you eat it? Because when boredom strikes, your success of forming the new habit, it reduces dramatically. Reward yourself. Reward yourself, because that will give you more of an incentive to keep on going, to keep on pushing, and making sure that you're following through with the formation of your new good habit. And also make sure that there are extrinsic rewards and also intrinsic rewards. Let me just use that weight loss thing again, or that, fitness type habit formation. One of the things that you could reward yourself with extrinsically is a cheat day once a week. So you're getting your sense of reward and excitement and a prize for your achievements from external means. Eat like some crazy carbs if you want to, or something deep fried or whatever. But also you have to help yourself intrinsically as well. You have to reward yourself by making yourself feel good on the inside, not just the outside. So why don't you take a picture of your body after every couple of weeks and see how it's transforming? And actually psychologically, if you can see that your body is looking differently from week on week, month on month, that is going to really boost your motivation in sticking through and probably even pushing harder than you were before, working harder to achieve your goals. So here's my case for continually forming good habits in your life. Well, number one is change. Everyone needs change. And the fact that you've recognized that you need a new habit, and specifically a good one, means that you're not happy or you're not satisfied in the position you're in and you want things to change. Start with small good habits, guys, and you will see the effects of it. So if you have small good habits, you form those, there will be a compound effect in your life that will lead into transformative changes. So the small things that you're doing right now to tweak and make sure that you are becoming a better you, or doing something better, doing something differently, progressing, those little things will add up, and in hindsight, you'll see how that leads to a bigger, more transformative change. Another reason to constantly try and challenge yourself by forming good habits is the constant growth and development that you go through in the process of trying to form a good habit, and just seeing how you can change and how you have the ability to push yourself and to control yourself and really master, you. And finally, the main reason of forming a good habit is for the achievement of meeting your goals and objectives. The reason you want to change is because you have a goal or an objective in mind that you want to reach, and you need to change to get to that goal. And a final word from me, the habit formation isn't that hard. You kind of identify what you need to change, you identify the habit that you need to form in order to change, and at that point, because you've already identified it, you have a certain willpower and a drive because you want to change. But willpower is not enough. What will help you in your habit formation the most is commitment and consistency. Because as I said, habits could take between 3 weeks to 8 months to form. And if it's 8 months, you are in for a long slog, and willpower alone won't take you there. But what will is consistency and commitment. And if you have that type of control in your life, where even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't want to do it, even when you're giving yourself all the excuses in the world why you can't do it, you're committed and you're consistent, and you just keep doing it. You keep plugging away. And before you know it, you've reached where you want to be because you were consistent and because you stayed committed. Guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. As I said, please comment down below. Tell me about your habits. Tell me about your good habits, how you want to get there, what you're going to do, how you want to transform. And again, if you like this type of content, please subscribe to my channel. I should be churning out these videos as soon and as quickly as I can, but by the least once every week. Thank you for watching the video, and I will see you guys later. For instance, also, tongue twister.